just for you, Hillary. We're here. See, just for here. We're here, just for you. But anyway, welcome, cryptid fans. Old Line Cryptids is back. Unfortunately, we're not out in the wilds this week like we were last week. But we got a great guest tonight. I don't know how the Milkman pulled this one off, but uh, we got Brian Seech with us tonight from the Center for Cryptozoological Studies.
Zoological, yep.
And it's I've
Gary's
seen
been out of school for a while.
yeah, quite a while. But I've seen Brian many times on different programs on YouTube, and around the subject of Bigfoot, and it's an honor to meet him. And I can't wait to cut him loose and let him just start telling everything he knows or wants to talk about. And we appreciate Blackie for getting everything going. I was a little late tonight, that's why we're late here. So, but anyway, Brian, we'll just get right into it. And how did it all start for you, basically?
Oh, so first of all, hey, just want to thank you guys for having me on the show, and hope we can talk about some really interesting cryptids tonight. But so basically, our story, my wife and I, we have two research groups. Okay, one we started in 1986, which is called Q, Center for Unexplained Events, and next year we're actually going to have our 40th year anniversary with the group. So we started that group basically to be a clearinghouse for everything unexplained, from UFOs to Bigfoot to strange creatures. You name it, anything on the paranormal field is what we studied. We have a huge library upstairs. We call it the S files instead of the X files, the Seech files, and we've had a lot of older researchers donate a lot of news clippings and magazines, stuff you can't find anymore. So we had that group. We started in 86. So in 2012, we decided we wanted to get more info on cryptids, okay, on all cryptids, not just Bigfoot. That's why we're not just a Bigfoot group. So when people talk to us, we want to hear all the sightings, okay, whether it's Mothman, winged entities, Dogman, even some of these far out things that we're doing research now on the we kind of call it a shimmering predator type entity, and we've all seen Predator, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah,
people were seeing.
We're talking Predator, huh?
Yeah. So the reason we use that is because that's what people can relate to. You remember the shimmer, the outline of this creature when it's moving. You see through it. You see the outline, but you see the woods or whatever it is that it's in front of. You see that, but you see an outline of something. Okay. We don't know if it's a extraterrestrial. We don't know if it's some kind of a creature, but we just received a report a couple days ago that, and it was an older report. Don't get me wrong, but the gentleman was walking out of his house, and he was walking to his car, and he has a garage, and two of the light sensors, motion sensors, came on before he even got there. So he said that those sensors where you had to be up really close or else they wouldn't go on. So he saw an outline of a figure, and it was kind of like a shimmering, like a multicolored aura around the head and the shoulders of this thing. So he claims that when he saw it, and when it saw him, it turned sideways, and that's when he saw the outline and had long arms, really big, really wide, and it ran. He says it took probably only 3, possibly 4 seconds to run about 80 some yards into the wood line, where he heard crashing. Something was starting to crash through those woods. Now, again, he just saw the outline, but we've received 1, 2, 3, 4. We've received 4, maybe 5. We're just getting actually a couple more reports, and they're all older, nothing new. But I don't know what this is, guys. Kind of like when we started to research the Dogman phenomenon. Okay. We actually lived in Mercer County, Grove City for 3 years. Now, my wife and I were born and spent most of our time in Beaver County. If you look at a map, Beaver County was here, Mercer County would be up here. And we was reading Linda Gottfried's book, American Werewolves. And there was a section in there about the Shenango Valley werewolf in Mercer County. It was of a littler creature. And I just like looked at my wife and I said, this is something I've never heard of. I said, I guess we're going to start studying werewolves now. And when I say that, I don't believe that a person, gets bitten can turn into a werewolf. Okay. That's just my own opinion. When people see these, we just call them Dogman. Okay. The people will tell you it looked like a quote unquote Hollywood werewolf, your typical Hollywood werewolf. It's 6-7 foot tall, on two legs, canid looking. If you would take the biggest wolf you could, stick, pull it up on its two hind legs and make it walk fluidly. That's the reports that we are getting of what these alleged Dogman creatures are. Again, I will say it's. You guys probably all research it. It's very controversial. I've talked to a lot of people say, I have a hard time believing this. I can't believe you're telling me people are seeing werewolves. I'm like, not. Again, I don't think that they change. It's a full moon.
Yeah,
blah, blah, yeah. all the legends of the werewolf. But it's. I wish I could give the best thing I try to tell people about that and some of these other cryptids is, and people don't want to hear it, these things could be some kind of an interdimensional being. They could somehow come in, which ways that we don't know, guys. We're just not smart enough to know, I guess, and somehow pop back out. That's the best explanation I can give for the Dogman phenomenon. I wish I could say more. I really do, but
yeah.
I just don't know. I mean,
Well, until you see a portal, it's kind of hard to believe in that part of it.
Well, to me, that makes a lot more sense because, I mean, we've discussed footprints and
Disappearing.
you find one or two and then that's it,
Yeah.
whether it's because they're good at stepping places you can't see or, climbing a tree or just disappearing into a portal.
But there's been known trackways to disappear with no trees around. So
Right,
they're not jumping in.
exactly.
any
In the middle of a snowy field. We've had that happen up here in Pennsylvania. I mean, there'll be a line of tracks into the snow, huge field, nothing. They end. Where does it go? Up, through, down. What does it do? I mean, a skeptic will say, well, it just backtracked. It backtracked. I mean, it put its feet perfectly back and backtracked. I mean, that's almost.
That would be real difficult to.
I've tried it. It doesn't work for me.
No.
I mean, I agree with that. I think they're just trying to explain as best they can because I know other animals will backtrack, but it's so you're talking if it's these creatures, right? They don't want to be seen even at night. So if it's in the middle of a snowy field, even you're going to go in the middle of a field and start backtracking. You're out in the open. These creatures usually want to go quickly to the wood line. So
Yeah.
Well, they
kind of like doesn't make sense in a way, but I don't know what you guys think.
They would be
somebody
going
trying to fake those footprints in the middle of the night as a human being. That's not going to happen.
The backtracking makes no sense to me because they're going somewhere to go nowhere.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because you're going forward just to go backwards. So where were you headed that you decided you want to walk your tracks directly back?
Now, here's an interesting thought. I kind of believe some of the portal stuff, especially when you can't backtrack. But what if when they're cloaking, what if that hides the tracks too?
Could be. I mean, yeah. It could. And the great thing about all these things, guys, is a lot of it is and I know we're speculating. Okay.
Sure.
We don't know for sure until we get a Dogman or a Bigfoot or a gargoyle or whatever on a slab. Unfortunately, hopefully not dead. I don't advocate killing any of these things,
No.
Until that happens, I think a lot is on the table, and we can't say for sure one way or another. That's my opinion. I don't know what you guys think.
There's probably some alphabet agency somewhere that has one to study. So,
Do they try? Jeff, I think you're coming into my realm of the thing now. I definitely think that there's a 3-letter agency out there for these things.
oh yeah,
They know what's going on. They know how to hide it. They're taking care of business.
Makes you wonder
Now,
how true
there-
the movie Men in Black is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, there are reports, and you'll even talk to a lot of the longtime researchers. You kind of have to badger them a little bit, and you say, "Have you ever talked to an eyewitness who claims that something was very, very close to them, and you could hear something walking in the woods close to them, but you couldn't see it?" Now, I'm sure probably all three of you guys have gotten those reports. People don't like to talk about these. So you're like saying that there's an invisible thing out there that's very close to you, and it's making these tracks. Now, these ones, you're not seeing the shimmer like I was just talking about. You're just hearing, hey, I heard these footsteps walk almost right up on me, and then nothing.
Great
Now,
house.
was it a Bigfoot? We don't know what it was. Don't get me wrong. But if you badger some of these longtime Bigfoot researchers, they'll tell you, yeah, well, I have 2 or 3 reports where they claim something was walking right alongside of them and not much cover, but there was nothing. They saw nothing. So could that be one of these? Could they do the cloaking? I don't know.
I've had similar things happen with me. I could hear it, and it should have been close enough for me to see it.
Exactly.
But I couldn't
Exactly.
see
What
it.
is it? Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Brian, since you're into all of the things, have you heard those types of stories around UFOs and aliens?
Yeah. Well,
Cloaking.
Well, see, we started, especially myself. I started off in the 70s, like in the UFO field, reading the UFO magazines, things like that. And in those magazines, like UFO Reports, Saga, things like that, there were a lot of stories back in the 70s connecting UFOs with Bigfoot.
Right. I've heard
Now,
that.
what you hear more now is what we're kind of doing a little project on it too. Is you're seeing light spheres and orbs with Bigfoot.
Yes.
Before you saw UFOs in the sky. Now you're seeing orbs, light spheres in the trees before or after a sighting, occasionally during a sighting. Is that part of the phenomena, or is it just 2 separate phenomena coming together?
Right.
I don't know. I just don't know.
Wasn't there a report out that in Western Pennsylvania with the UFO actually being seen landing, and then several minutes later or whatever the time frame was, 2 large Bigfoot type creatures were seen along a fence line. I believe that was in the
That was it.
Pennsylvania
Yeah, that
area.
was in the 73 in Uniontown. Yeah, the guy shot over their heads, and then the UFO blinked out. Yeah, so there are some reports where ape-like, maybe they're not exactly Bigfoot, ape-like creatures have been seen entering or leaving UFOs, UFO craft, or now I guess UAP, right? They went new term.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So again, I think there's more of those reports out there, but a lot of longtime Bigfoot researchers, they don't want to connect the two.
Yeah.
And longtime, Bigfoot researchers too, like that are in the BFR, they won't touch a report if that has to do with any lights in the sky or UFOs. It's like, no, don't. You can't mix them. You can't mix them. But just the fact is that there are reports out there. They're out there, whether you want to accept the reports or not, but they're out there.
It still makes me laugh that they call them UAPs now.
Yes. Yeah. They'll wait 10 years. There'll be a new title.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Somebody will change it again.
There was actually a story. I can't remember if it was in the 90s or if it was the early 2000s. There was actually a cop over in Rising Sun over in Cecil County that actually pursued a UFO.
Mm-hmm.
He shot at it and passed the lie detector test and said, well, why did you fire at it? And he said, well, I wasn't sure what its intention was.
Yeah.
So he was chasing it in a patrol car, firing at it from the car.
Yeah.
And apparently he still worked for the department after that. I don't know what
I've heard lots of stories like that, police chasing UFOs, and I've heard stories of UFOs chasing police. I've through whatever, I think I was reading those in books back in the day before they had the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But I was asking if aliens cloaked, maybe they had the same technology as Bigfoot, or Bigfoot was using that technology as well. Maybe they are all coming from another dimension which makes more sense to me that they would be coming from different dimensions. Because
yeah, there was one of the most famous UFO cases actually was the 1966 Portage County, Ohio, to where in Beaver County, which actually where we used to live. It's just right across the river to Conway. They saw the two Ohio police officers saw this craft hovering, and they chased it for 86 miles from Ravenna, Ohio to Conway, Pennsylvania, and then it shot straight up. And there was actually joined by other policemen. There's actually at least 5 policemen that saw this thing. So we always think, hey, it ended in Beaver County, which is where we used to live most of our lives. It's a pretty famous case down there.
Makes you wonder what about that area? What is it about that area?
Do you guys remember Close Encounters?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The scene where he stopped and the UFO goes and all the police cars are chasing it. That was actually based on that 1966 case. So I thought I really took pride here in Beaver County that they used that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of UFO reports, Chestnut Ridge westward, all over Pennsylvania, really, but just something about that area up there. I don't know.
Because we talk about
almost like an experimental project or something. It's really weird.
We talk about the 33rd parallel, which obviously is Alabama and through all those southern states. But what's up there that obviously there's Bigfoot up there, there's UFOs up there, there's other cryptids. So maybe it's just everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think there are high energy areas, portal areas, window areas, whatever you choose your term. I just thought
I got Patrick making fun of my big ears, and now I'm Uncle Fester. Gosh.
I didn't put this hillbilly outfit on purpose. I spilled spaghetti sauce on my shirt, and I had to put something else on before I came in here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but yeah, I've been up through Mercer a few times, up to the Raceway Park up there, and all of Western Pennsylvania up through there. Just that land is just so inquisitive. And
yeah, we have where we live now is in Weirton is between two other states, and we call it the Tri-State Triangle because everywhere from eastern Ohio to the tip of West Virginia to northwestern or southwestern PA, traditionally. Cryptids, UFO sightings, everything in that one huge area. And, we're also in the Appalachian Mountains and just weird stuff happens here. Weird stuff happens, the more you go into West Virginia, the weirder it gets as far as some of the things. So we're just on the tip. So
weird enough with the people.
But yeah, it's, what I do think too is probably almost every place in the United States, if there's a researcher there, they're going to get reports. They'll get reports of strange creatures, of Bigfoot, of UFOs. But like here in the Panhandle, Northern Panhandle, where we live, there's hardly ever been that many researchers here. I mean, there is Fred Saluga, who we work with. But other than that, so people don't know where to go with their reports. Now, we've had a bunch of conferences and things like that at parks and things like that. People are starting to come out. But here in the Panhandle, because I'm not a West Virginian, I'm from PA, and I don't know, maybe I'm still an outsider, you know what I mean? But they're starting to come out. But I've only lived here 4 years, not 20, not most of my life like I did in PA, which would have been 56 years in PA. So you get to know the people get to know you, and they're more comfortable with coming out and talking to you as probably they all talk to you in your areas.
Yeah, we're still working on people opening up about that. It's very slow.
That's hit miss. Some people just won't talk. Surprisingly, I'll bring it up more often than not. Again, I'm going to jump off topic here with the pulling world. I talked to some people that I know live Western PA, Virginia, West Virginia, and surprisingly, the feedback I get is, I figured I would get more of the, "Oh, you're crazy. That stuff don't exist." A lot of them are big hunters too. Surprisingly, they don't deny it. I'm not saying that they're saying, "Yeah, absolutely, I've got proof." And all that other stuff.
Where a lot of them tractor pullers live, Jerry, some pretty hairy.
I know.
Country.
I've been to a lot of their areas. Yeah, it's.
That's how
But
Jerry
surprisingly, the feedback is more positive than "You're crazy, get away from me." So.
Well, I think I especially like on Bigfoot. Now, I do believe that when Finding Bigfoot came out, it did open avenues to Bigfoot to be more accepted into mainstream. And I think one of the big things that happened there is when they had their town hall meetings, and they got people, hey, come in, we're going to have Finding Bigfoot's going to have a town hall in, say, Chestnut Ridge area and Derry. They would advertise it, and they would get people would pack in there, and you guys probably watched the show, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. And how many people here had Bigfoot sightings? They feel more comfortable to do it there, and they would talk to some of the people. And we noticed, because we've been in it, like I said, about 40 years. And when we started out and stuff like that, there was just not oh, it's okay, somebody's with Fred. Okay. Yeah, Fred was there. But after Finding Bigfoot, like first year or two, if we would do we would do a lot of library talks, and for that gentleman with Fred. So Fred was with us when we did this. We would get a lot of people coming to these, not because of us two, because of the new, to some people, the new topic of Bigfoot. I want to hear about Bigfoot. Now it's been so long that I don't know if it might be tailing off a little bit. Some of the conferences aren't as well attended. But things take place like the Dogman. And when I talked to Jeff about it. And when we first started doing it, man, we took our lumps. We were made fun of, and it was my wife, me and Terry, and Fred. We would give presentations, and we were one of the first ones around here that were talking about Dogman and giving presentations on it. And they were chuckling, ha ha ha, laughing at it. As time went on, more and more, like we're still in the Jody Cook's group, the
North American
Dogman Project, yes. And since groups like that came out, and then Monster Quest did several of them with Linda Godfrey and other researchers, it's a little more accepted now, but still not to the level of Bigfoot. But now when you say Dogman, every time we always include that in our presentations. How many have heard of Dogman? At least half the people there are raising their hands. Okay. When we first started, just a few. So I think all these shows help, but they, in a way, they hurt too. Like I watched every episode of Finding Bigfoot. Some of the things they did, I would shake my head and
like setting fireworks off in the woods in the middle of the night.
Hey, I can hear you guys really good now. I don't know what happened, but I can hear you guys great now.
I heard some audio feedback there real quick, and then it went away. So I don't know.
So yeah, well, you know what, Jeff, the one thing about that is, I will say, when they do these, like, they shoot the fire. They had a rave one time with all the music. But the one thing is, the reason they're doing that, not just for TV, they're doing something to draw these creatures in. Yeah, we've done some off the wall things too. We have. I mean, and like we were, like, I remember one of the episodes. They were up in Kinzua, at Kinzua Bridge. Whale calls. Okay, my friend was watching it. They called and they said, "Oh yeah, that's new. You guys did that 4 years ago down in Beaver Creek," and we did. We played whale calls. Now you're thinking, why are these idiots playing whale calls? Because it is something that they have probably never heard in the woods of Ohio. It sparked their curiosity, and some might have been really ridiculous, but if there were creatures there, if it doesn't scare them off, it's going to bring them. They're going to be like, "What the hell are these people doing?"
The fireworks just sound like a bad idea.
So think about it. If I always thought, old saying is, the curiosity could catch the Bigfoot. Yeah. They're curious. I say that we're people TV. We're all people TV for them. They watch us. They see what we're doing. They find out our patterns, and they. But they watch us, guys. some of the other the cryptids just seem to pop in and stuff like that. These Bigfoot creatures seem to watch you. Women and children, they like, you know that. Yep. More leery of with men, because men's got that long thing they shoot. It makes the noise and animals fall down, right? And so they're more leery of men, but they're more curious. They love women and children from all indication of the reports of what happens. And so there's been reports out there that people will be watching TV, okay, and the picture window's open, and they feel real creepy, and they look out. There's a Bigfoot watching TV, watching what they're doing. I mean, so yeah. And I was in an older Bigfoot organization, and it was up in I think Central PA or somewhere like that. So there was it was snow. It was in the winter, and there was big footprints leading up to the cellar, and then it looked like it stood there and then it walked off. Well, one of the investigating teams went up there, and they looked in the window, and they smiled. And you know what was in there? There was a gorilla costume sitting on a chair. And these people did not do it to draw Bigfoot. Hey, it's a gorilla costume. Let's plop it over here. This creature comes walking up, huge prints, looks in the window and sees, oh my God, that looks like me. It looks like a Bigfoot. So again, they're watching what we're doing. And if you get little stories like that all across the United States, okay, they're very super intelligent. They have to be, because first of all, they stay away from number one predator in the world, which is all of us guys. Man. It's man. So they know it's like, if I get too close to these hairless apes, they can kill me. They can kill me. So yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, I keep hearing something buzzing over here. It's driving me.
I do too. I hear a buzzing too.
Same here.
Yeah, I don't hear any on my end, and we don't have anything going on here, so I don't know.
What in the world is that noise?
Hold on a second. I'm gonna start with each. I'm gonna mute everybody one at a time.
Here, I'll turn myself off.
It's not you, Jeff. Wow, that's good. Uh-oh.
There it is.
We found it. It's Brian.
Yeah, I'm sitting here in the living room. We don't have anything on. I mean, that maybe it's a refrigerator back there, but yeah, I mean,
it's just a little bit off.
That refrigerator from the 1970s.
Yes.
maybe
Hey, like those refrigerators from the 70s are made better than the crap they have today, though.
Yeah,
right?
Amen to that.
maybe it's the government bug that's tied into your line.
Yeah.
Government to Weirton, look out.
Yeah, if they're watching us, man, they have other things they
I'm
should.
telling you, it was so loud on this end. I thought it was a damn yellow jacket or something buzzing around here in like the corner of the
It's
room.
not bad now. It's not bad now. It comes.
Brian, let me ask you a question.
Greg House.
Have you noticed? I noticed it here in Middle Tennessee. We've got Big South Fork State Park. We have Pickett State Park, and then I believe Big South Fork turns into Daniel Boone in Kentucky. I'm noticing a lot more people having Bigfoot. What is that noise? Anyway, I'm noticing more people having Bigfoot signs, the big steel cutouts and everything. And I wonder if more people are experiencing it or if they're just getting into the fad of it.
But probably both. Hey, well, there's a cool little story here. I can say it real quick. So there's a trail here about 5 miles from the house. And we actually had an eyewitness come to us and told us, hey, I saw this creature right here, okay? So I went, my wife and I were walking a little bit down from her sighting. There's woods, and then there's a row of houses. And guess what was there? Cardboard Bigfoot. So now, did these people just join the fad, or did these people see the same thing? And hey, for a joke, let's just set one of these things out there. So yeah, Bigfoot, especially around state and local county parks, more. they seem to gravitate towards those because there's activity. If there's a campground, there's food, right? There's smell, there's dumpsters.
Mhm.
I believe other people have said that they will enjoy a meal out of the dumpster. So a lot of it makes sense if you can just peel the layers back and look at the pure thing. A lot of what we're talking about makes sense.
Sure. I know one of the things I keep telling everybody I'm going to do is I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to get, that is me giving back feed now. Anyway.
Now you're feeding back.
I was going to get in my car, my wife and I, and go drive down driveways and ask these people if they've had experiences because they have the Bigfoot flag or they have the Bigfoot statue or whatever in their yard. But then I also remembered that I'm from Middle Tennessee, and you just don't drive up somebody's driveway out in the middle of nowhere to see if, because good things usually don't happen when you drive up somebody's driveway and they're not expecting you.
Back in the day, you used to be able to get away with that stuff. Now you can't.
Yeah, not down here. They'll shoot you down here. You
Yeah.
don't mess with these people. You don't go in their property. Nah, you don't mess with them here. I always tease people. It's like all these cryptids get together and they'll say, hey, Pennsylvania, yeah, that's cool. We can get Ohio, that's cool. And it's like West Virginia, they'll come after you.
Makes me, it makes me wonder also. Let's go back many years back when moonshining and stuff back in the middle of nowhere. Makes you wonder how much those people have seen or heard.
Yeah, how many times do you think old Bigfoot got caught in a mash site in there scooping out the
Yeah.
old Popcorn Sutton probably wasn't too happy if one got into his site.
A lot of them down here, I've talked to some researchers that have been here a while, and they'll say, yeah, they say we know they're out there. We're going to leave them alone. They leave us alone. Is a lot of what old timers say about these creatures. So yeah, there's nothing like they're protecting them, but I just think that they don't want bothered by people like all of us trying to traipse through their property or talk to them. So could they, in an indirect way, be protecting them, kind of like that? It's possible. I remember my wife and I went to a flea market in Butler County. And it was at a drive-in, and we had a little display stand. Have you seen anything strange in the woods? One guy says, "Yeah, we have one on our property." And I started talking. He goes, "I would never let someone like you on it." I'm like, "What do you mean?" "Well, you'll want to kill them." I'm like, "No." I said, "Just to reverse. Most Bigfoot researchers don't want to kill him."
Right.
Well, yeah, we don't want him hurt. He's ours. I'm like,
huh.
Hey, you
Oh,
are
great. That's like somebody claiming a deer.
Yeah, he's ours. Okay, I mean,
Yeah. Right. There.
Yeah.
Definitely. He's had a couple of very weird experiences out of his control that put him in a very bad situation a time or two on his property.
A time or two? What about every time?
Well, a time or two.
I think though that I do believe, like, they talk about habituation and things like that. That was not me.
That's Jeff.
But so they'll tell you that these creatures seem to get to know the people, and I'm talking about people that have lived in an area a long time. Okay. I believe that they watch what they do. They see if they're violent. They see if they're a threat to them. And I think if they see that they're not a threat, they'll show themselves a little bit more, but only to those people. If they get guests or have people over, no, nothing. Once everybody's gone, if it's just them, sometimes they'll show themselves a little bit, or they'll make them known to whoever lives there. So sometimes when people make fun of, oh yeah, they see Bigfoot all the time, it's like, well, and I don't advocate feeding them, okay, but if some people do, or sometimes, like, some people I've heard that live out, they'll just throw scraps out for any animal. They're not doing it for Bigfoot, but then occasionally if there's a Bigfoot there, yeah, they're opportunists. They'll take what they can get. But if all of a sudden the food dries up, they're going to get pissed.
Yeah.
And sometimes they say people had rocks thrown at their house, banging on walls if they haven't got fed. So it is a tricky thing you do if you're going to try to think you're going to start feeding them. But yeah, so
what do you do with old food, leftovers and stuff like that? You're not going to eat. You throw it out. It happens here all the time.
Yeah, we throw some stuff out occasionally for the raccoons and things like that. Sometimes corn, some things, and they're gone in a day or two. The raccoons, everything around here eats it. But we're not doing it to, and we actually did have talking to our neighbor years ago, a Bigfoot sighting right down the road. Okay. And it just crossed the road. So again, another thing that they call the rake, you've heard about the rake.
Oh yeah.
It was all white.
Hold that thought, Jeff. I know you're going to start. Hold on.
But yeah, so they claim I'm pointing up, probably like up there on the hill. It's kind of like up that way, and the guy claims but he did say, he goes, I was a little buzzed, but I wasn't drunk. But he goes, I saw this thing on the opposite side of the little creek there, and a little ravine, and he said it was white. It was like white skin, and it was walking up towards. There is a tower up here, we're not a radio tower,
5G or
tension wire up there straight.
Okay.
Yeah.
And and he goes, allegedly some people have seen it, like up on the hill up there. There's other houses, which be up that way, I guess. And it's white. Some people talk about it. So again, I got another lady who told me she saw one of these things in New York. Now I still have to contact her about the sighting, but she claims, I think she said it was white also, and it was just like this horrid, skinny looking thing. And again, you talk about rake being like the creepy pasta, and what's the other one? What's the other one? There's another famous one.
Pale crawler.
Nightcrawler. Another one too.
Pale crawler.
Hell crawler.
Yeah, and
there's the thin man.
Things like that. What's that?
Isn't there the thin man or something like that? That one of those
Thin Man, that's-
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember that encounter.
So there's been a report in Pennsylvania, just north of Jeff and I, by about 8 to 10 miles of you want to tell that?
Yeah, I actually got that one because it was a guy that used to haul manure for us. He worked for one of the local haulers, and they right there on the reservoir was coming around there at night.
Muddy Run.
Literally right off of the Susquehanna.
Okay.
And in fact, you might have heard of it. It's over in Lancaster. It's
Muddy Run.
Muddy Run.
Yeah, I one of my friends, Rick Fisher, lives up around that area.
Yeah.
So again, when you start telling these people, hey, I'm researching a dog, I'm researching a gargoyle, I'm researching, what are you smoking? I'm researching werewolves. When you do I just do Bigfoot. Oh, you're kind of held up like this. When you start talking about what we're down here, and we don't care. It's because I would rather get the odd, strange reports that nobody takes. A lot of people don't even want to take them. We do. We want to take these reports, and we do the best we can to document them and talk with other researchers about them. Because everybody does Bigfoot. You know that. I mean, there's so much Bigfoot.
Right.
90% Bigfoot, 10% everything else.
Yeah, that guy actually saw it climb the chain link fence out of the reservoir.
Wow.
And cross the road, climb over the guardrail, and then go down the embankment on the other side. And that embankment is
Pretty steep.
Wow.
I like to refer to it as the Great Divide.
Yeah. That's basically what it is, really.
Pretty much.
That's what it is.
If you wreck the car off of that thing, ooh,
That's a holding pond there where they pump the water back and forth.
and then it's a valley down into the river, basically.
Well, you guys in Maryland have Tales of the Goat Man too, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yeah.
We're
We're going to start digging into some of that stuff. And
We have, the Headless Wanderers.
Yeah.
We've got all sorts of.
Yeah, it's funny here in West Virginia when I start looking into a lot of the ghost lore in West Virginia. A lot of headless ghosts in West Virginia.
Yeah.
And
Well, hell, right down the road, there's what is that? The headless
Peddler.
Yeah, Peddler's Run.
Peddler's Run. Yeah.
The headless peddler, Peddler's Run.
And I know Cheat Lake, I believe, also Virginia, has a ghost with no head. A lot Civil War, I think, in what's the name of it called? There's a park, a Civil War park in West Virginia, and the name escapes me right now.
Well, there's another county not far from us that is it Howard County that has one too, Jerry? I think a headless soldier or something.
I believe so. Yeah. I don't remember what county it is, but I know.
And we also have our own. The Dogman also has its own name in Maryland.
Dueo.
The Dueo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
When I had talked to you about the, it was on June 22nd, 2024 in Columbia, Maryland. Howard County it's called?
Yeah.
Well, this lady claimed she had saw a white werewolf. First time I ever heard of a white werewolf. And she claims that she saw it. And the interesting thing is what she said is what I caught too. Even like in the Gargoyle and another Dogman report, it was like sniffing the air, almost like it just got there. The Gargoyle in Butler, the very first sighting, it was standing there by a sign, sniffing the air and looking around, almost like I just got here. Where the hell am I? And this is what could some of these things be interdimensional? Now she mentioned about
wow.
She lived in an apartment complex, and unfortunately, my notes here don't get. There's a name of a park close to this place in Columbia, Maryland. Do you know what that would be?
Let me do some research.
Yeah. We actually have a guy that he's not in chat tonight, but Sean Collins. He's had 3 Dogman encounters in Maryland.
Okay.
Northern Baltimore.
Yeah,
not far outside of the city. Reisterstown area.
Yeah, like around the city. Yeah.
And what do you guys? So when you talk to like the audience and stuff, what are the people saying about these dogs? What's the response? What are they saying?
Well,
I've not had anybody come to me and say anything about Dogman in this area. So.
We've got reports from here, but we haven't had anybody to, like we get people talking to us about Bigfoot. You never really hear much about Dogman unless, I get a call from somebody that, like Sean, who actually, encountered one. I haven't gotten too many stories about it. I mean, there was one I found on Reddit from about, 22, Jerry?
What's that now? I'm sorry.
Remember that that encounter I found on Reddit last year about the one that was back in 2023 over there by the Valley? That Dogman encounter?
I don't remember.
The one was in the park.
Oh, you mean over Hidden Valley or whatever?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. That's off 136.
It's only a couple miles from it. It's not far.
Yeah, it's not far. It's not far. It's a creepy spot.
And we got
you go down in there at night, you set. Yeah. Your mind starts. Okay, definitely want to get your attention.
And I don't suggest you sit and listen to any cryptid podcast while you're sitting down there in your truck like I do sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. But it's a weird phenomena, guys, and I went like there's times I'm speechless. I'm like I don't know what to say about it, and I can tell whenever we bring these drawings up, like the Shenango Valley Werewolf and things like that. We have some eyewitness drawings, where people are looking like. Some smirks, and just some people like, really? I mean, it's hard to digest. Bigfoot's one thing, but a giant wolf walking on 2 legs with glowing eyes. I mean, all I know is some of the people we've talked to, and we've had I think we start researching it in 2004 Okay, so we haven't been researching it that long. It's grand scheme of things, 20 some years, but it's it's we think we might have about 17, 18 reports. Might sound like a lot, but maybe a report a year, 2 reports a year. A lot of them are older. Now we are having some recent stuff here where we used to live in Beaver County, which we're going to be diving into that too. So
Patapsco Valley State Park. That's where
What
you're
is
talking about. Patapsco.
that's it. That's
Yep.
it. Thank you. Thank you. And she said that apparently a couple people might have had some Dogman encounters there. She said because it's kind of like a straight line from her place to that park. I forget how long maybe 8-9 miles, which it really isn't far if you think about it. So again, thank you for that though, because I looked and I couldn't find. I did write that down on another note sheet, but I don't have it with me here.
We found out that there's actually a Bigfoot festival in Maryland now, in
Yes.
Carroll County,
Westminster.
the last couple of years, and it's right below Gettysburg, like right up against PA.
Okay.
You
And
say Gettysburg. I'm going to hit him real quick here. I don't know what your knowledge of Gettysburg around the military park, National Military. There's been Bigfoot reports in around the Little Round Top and Big Round Top area.
Yeah, there has been. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think there's been anything recent, but I even have a newspaper article that said from Gettysburg, and it might have been from the late 80s or something like that.
Yeah,
But
I know it's been a while.
yeah, Bigfoot seen in around Gettysburg. Yeah.
Yeah, that area down in there before you start going up to. It's a knoll. It's not really like a mountain. It's just a knoll there. But,
Yeah.
It's
Brian,
creepy
have
down
I-
that bottom.
I've got a good one for you. You like ghost stories, don't you?
Yeah.
Gary knows where I'm going with this one.
Go ahead.
Well, have you ever heard of one riding in a pickup truck?
No, I have not.
So there's a guy that hauls hay up here sometimes, and they actually bail the battlefields at Gettysburg, and we get hay trucked in there from him sometimes. And he was going back to get his pickup. It was a Ford Excursion, which was one of the best vehicles ever made. But we won't get into that discussion. I would like to buy one though. Okay, Jerry. I'm getting.
Get on with it.
He gets into it and he starts it up and he pulls out of the field. He looks over and there's a Confederate cavalry officer sitting in his passenger seat.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, "No, what did you do?" And he goes, "Well, I just kept driving." And the closer I got to the farm, he slowly started to dissipate out of the seat.
Wow.
But I mean, he said he could see everything on him.
Wow.
Like all of his, all the buckles, all the little, whatever, all that.
Insignia and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the insignias, all that stuff, the weapons. I mean,
Did he try to touch him?
he said he tried to talk to him. He didn't know what else to do.
Did it talk back?
No, it just sat there.
Now I've heard of ghost trains. I know we've all heard of ghost trains.
Yeah,
Ghost ships on the sea.
yeah.
But no, that's interesting. That
He
was
had actually called a friend of his who was a reenactor and said, "Hey, is there an old Confederate encampment down so and so road?" And he said, "Yeah, give me a half an hour. I'll get back to you." He goes over and started looking up all his stuff, and anyway, he gets back and gets back to him and goes, "Yeah, why?" So he told him, and he was like detailing all of everything the guy was wearing. He's like, "That was a Confederate cavalry officer."
That's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, he said it was just like he was sitting there, in person.
I can't imagine.
No. I can't either.
So I want to touch base on Dogman, and I'm glad you brought it up already earlier. In your area, in around Western Pennsylvania, what's the activity like? I mean, kind of, have you had a lot of reports for Dogman
Not,
in your areas? Or?
not a lot, but we've had several in Beaver County, and one from a lady who we're talking to her friend. She has not confided in us yet. We're still working on it. It's been over a year, but apparently her son just saw it recently, and now we just found out like a couple weeks ago, allegedly a hunter in Beaver County saw it. So we're going to follow up on that lead too. So it seems to be, now we're not there anymore. Now there's the encounters. When we were there, we didn't have any, but that Beaver County would probably be the hot spot,
And that's
Yeah.
for years. It's always been Bigfoot in my mind. And then you start hearing all this other reports of other stuff. Hold on, John. And Dogman is like a huge topic now. It's amazing. It's like in the forefront. And real quick, I got a question from Melvin, who we had on a couple weeks ago. You ever talked to an alien abduction?
I have two friends who claims they were abducted. Two friends, and one who's had encounters with several aliens, and she's a psychic, a sensitive. She actually passed away when she was younger, and it brought back to life, and that might have been the reason for her. For the ghost cat here, no, for her.
I got two of them.
Reason for her special abilities, but one of them was there was a mantis man. We've received a couple of reports actually of people seeing these mantis creatures. It's another strange one. You got goat man, you got mantis man. I mean, you got.
I've heard about that out your way, mantis. Yep.
Yeah, and New Jersey too.
Okay.
Is it called? There's a river there, and God, it's a weird pronunciation of the river, but there's been several sightings along this river of this mantis creature. And I wish
That's interesting.
Yeah,
There's another topic for you, Chad.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the mantis.
You know what that reminds me of?
What's
Laylac's encounter. There was a mantis.
Yes, correct.
Our friend David Blaylock, who
It's in Oregon.
co-host with us, he actually had one. He had an abduction story, and he actually saw a mantis.
Yeah, there's all kind of different aliens too. That's a topic for another day, actually. But yeah,
Bigfoots and mantis in the same room.
yeah. Also, mantis, grays with the mantis.
And Bigfoot.
Yeah, and even Bigfoot has been seen on
And 3 Bigfoot in there.
ships. I mean, UFOs. So nothing I'm saying, just the reports that are out there. I try to temper some of the things I say that reports I've read, not reports I've taken. Right. Okay, I mean, we do a lot of reading, a lot of archiving, and there's a museum upstairs right on top of me, and so much material. Just so much material. We it's just you could talk about stuff all day and all night. Just pick a topic and talk about it. It's just so many different things.
I got a big one coming at you.
You what?
Big question here coming at you.
That's an awesome question. It really is.
He always has great questions.
He does.
So, here's the thing too. I love it how he says it. How we perceive the natural world. Now I do this one slide in my presentations. We receive so many. I don't remember how many visual things per second, but we can only remember like 12 or something like that. So every person, all of us on the screen might have different levels of perception. So, or we deal a lot with frequencies too. Frequencies, vibration, everything has a frequency, everything has a vibration. So,
Yes.
So Blackie might have a real high vibration, and Jerry might have a little bit lower and I might have one in between. So we all might be in the same place, and Blackie's going to see it. And Jerry, you and I are not going to see it, or we're going to perceive something different. Now, John Keel always talked about the ultra-terrestrials, if you remember that. I don't know if you guys are Keelians or look into any of Keel's work. And the ultra-terrestrials were sort of like a presence that's been here. I don't know if it's an energy presence, an alien. They just call it the ultra-terrestrials, okay? That they can form what you see. So one time, Jeff's driving down the road, he sees a Bigfoot cross the road, okay? Me, I go out there and I see a Mothman in my yard, okay? Is this conscious? Is it a consciousness, or a world conscious, something? Is it putting a thought in my head and I see it, but is it actually there? And that there's a lot to that. And I think with frequency vibrations, I think it's not just, I think a lot of this too is not just there's a physical presence out there. Maybe your spiritual, it may be energy. I think a lot of this is energy too, guys. Has something to do with energy and manifestations. Go ahead. Sorry.
Being around this now for about 2 years, one of the things I've noticed is a lot of people that have had these experiences have been, let's say, struck by lightning, or been a part of something electrical, or had a near-death experience. And maybe they've, like with the electric, you've changed the current in your body, whereas you couldn't see something before. Now you're seeing things, like I like to say, like a cat, because, we always talk about cats and how they stare off in the middle of nowhere, but they'll follow something, and you're wondering if they can see more than we can with the eyes they have, or maybe even something else. But, cats and dogs will stare into a corner and growl and whatever, and you don't know what they're seeing. But I just wonder on a human level, if like you're saying, we have different levels, our bodies produce electricity and some are higher than others. But I wonder if with a lot of people that have been maybe former electricians, or just been out and struck by lightning, maybe been zapped, and if that's changed their electrical field, then now they're having experiences. And same with the near death. My wife had a near death experience. She was dead. They brought her back to life. And she's claimed to have seen like the Hat Man and a couple children, shadows, out of the corner of her eye, a place where you shouldn't see them, in a kitchen, So I'm wondering if that's part of all of this. Is so when you mentioned the electrical currents and the electricity, that's what I've been talking about. That's kind of how I see it, is why some people can see things and some people don't. Like, I've never seen a Bigfoot. I've never seen the Dogman. But there are people that I've talked to over and over again that have seen these things. And I'm just wondering if the electricity they emit is higher level than mine. We're on a little bit different plane.
And remember, we're being bombarded by waves, by radio waves, by electricity, by another thing no one ever talks about is weather from the sun, geomagnetic storms, coronal mass ejections. That's hitting us. So if it's hitting us at a place with high quartz content, boom, there comes a Dogman, or boom, there's a winged entity. I think electricity, I think energy has a play in all this, and I'm just not smart enough to know. I'm just not. I try my ass off. But there's just
I believe one of the places that we've all, well, not we've all, Jerry and Jeff haven't yet, but a lot of the people in chat have experienced something, is at a place in Alabama, and I could mention Collins Hunt Camp, and it sits on top of, I believe it's quartz, is what this thing. And I felt, my wife and I in our vehicle felt vibration, like when you're laying in there and you just feel like vibration. We've had fingerprints on our cars. She's seen orbs. So maybe the quartz thing and the electric, I like that.
And also too, maybe say a geomagnetic storm, it could ignite that more.
Yeah. Okay.
Boom! All of a sudden, maybe there was something there all the time, but that plus how it interacts with your perception, your eyes, maybe you can see it one time. And again, I'm not saying any of this is true, but we do look into it. We look into it pretty seriously, and we've talked to a lot of people about it. More people. I think one of your next biggest trends, guys, is going to be the frequencies. If it isn't already, frequencies, vibrations, energy. A lot of these things are going to come to that. Believe me, you heard it here on 1014. Because I really think you're going to have a lot more people researching this. And, seeing in different spectrums. Maybe my one guy we work with he says, maybe some of these things can somehow bend light. Now we have capes. I don't know if you've ever seen them. If you type
I've seen those
invisibility capes, they're wearing them, and you see right through them.
Yep.
You're seeing what's in back of them and what's in front of them. It's a cape. It bends the light. So again, could these creatures, these entities, just have that skin? I remember seeing. I think, and I really got to look through the files. It was like 1988 or 89. There was a Japanese person. He had one of these capes back then, and hardly anything was said about it. And all of a sudden, they're talking about it. They're talking about they can do it on planes. Let the light bend, So again, can some of these creatures somehow bend light? I don't know. Are they in a different spectrum?
Well, we know the military uses it. So
Right.
Where did they get the technology for it is something we should think about,
Right.
Maybe that's some of that extraterrestrial technology that they've used.
Stuff we'll never know.
So many questions.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Any of it, to be honest.
Uh-oh. You froze
He's
up.
still up there.
Hey, Brian, I'll tell you what real quick. A lot of the feedback's coming from you. I have another big question here. I'm going to go ahead and get you answered that. And maybe, I don't know if you can hear us, when you're listening to us, it's obviously feeding back to your microphone. I don't know if we can.
I don't know. I can hear you perfectly now. Before I could barely hear you, but I hear you guys. It's crystal clear.
Okay, yep. Okay, we're getting a lot of feedback from your end. I don't know what it is. It's weird.
We're in a holler, see, and it's the energy down here.
I'm gonna give you
Is that light in the corner? Is that an LED or a fluorescent? Or is it just a light bulb?
It's one of the LED bulbs, yeah. I don't know if I could shut it off. It'll be dark. You want me to try to shut it off?
Just for a second, see if it does anything. Nope. You can turn it back on.
Still there. You can turn it back on. Are you wearing earbuds by chance?
No.
Do you have a pair you can wear or plug in?
I'd have to look. I'd have to try to dig them out. But
Don't worry. Anyway, here's another question from Vera.
this still keeps you up at night. I like to say, okay, so we lived in Beaver County. So in Beaver County, up above us, Lawrence County, to the left of us, Ohio, is Columbiana County. I believe we've had the highest concentration of white Bigfoot reports possibly in the country. That doesn't make sense. Okay, white Bigfoot. I mean, they're Bigfoot, but they're white. Most of them, except one, there was one in Newcastle, Lawrence County, was 4 foot tall. Almost every single one of the other ones is over 6 feet tall. And we've had a couple eyewitnesses meet, and it kind of looks like a Pyrenees dog with the hair almost covering its eyes. But that I can't explain. I mean, white Bigfoot encounters are rare to begin with.
Yeah.
Let alone so I think me and my wife have done 7 of them, maybe 8. We just got an older one about a month and a half ago, but it was one from 2 years ago, and it was in the same in the same general area where some of the other ones were. So that is always that together, those combined together is one of the weirdest things that we've had. I mean, white Bigfoot, in that many cases of white Bigfoot. Now we do have a nuclear power plant down there too, so you never know. But it's weird. It's definitely weird.
Yeah, we got one of them here too. Just a stone throw away, really. It's not very far away, and there is reports from over there of Bigfoot, but not white.
Have you ever heard of the Alabama white thing?
Yes, I have. And there, if you do study it, you see that there's not like hundreds of them, but there's I should like do a real report on how many that we've been able to seen, but I don't want to say a decent amount, enough reports of white creatures throughout the country that it's worth looking into.
Hi, Mary.
Oh, is that Mary Fabian?
Yeah.
Hi, Mary. Mary's awesome. She's helped us a lot. She's one of the very few researchers. She'll go out of her way. She'll help you. She'll share things. Some don't share anything, and she shares everything, and she's awesome.
Yep.
Thanks for listening, Mary.
Kevin, he's actually in West Virginia, between Pennsylvania and Ohio. He was late getting here. He wasn't sure if you were from Indiana or where you were from.
My heart will always be in PA, guys.
Awesome. Wake up, Jeff.
I'm awake.
Okay.
He's
Reading his telephone. That's great. Yeah, it's
hard for me to do the screen
so
stuff.
much stuff, man. The UFO stuff, I've bounced back and forth what these things are, and you listen to some really great, potentially really good evidence of Bigfoot and UFO and then orbs, and then doggone it, what's his name? Just passed away not too long ago. His son took over.
Jeff Meldrum? No.
Oh, he's from down around the Smoky Mountains.
Oh.
You're thinking
I'm not going to try.
Scott Carpenter.
Scott Carpenter.
Oh, Scott, yes.
Had some very interesting footage from his back camera of a potential portal on a trail.
Okay, yeah, and also the Dogman. I remember he had one.
Yes. Yeah, he's got some crazy
years ago. Very, very interesting, man. Yep.
Yeah. And that's another thing it throws into are these things again interdimensional, coming through portals and stuff. There's so many different perspectives of what could be, and but you talk to one person, now they're flesh and blood, and this person believes it's hard to draw a conclusion on what they are if we ever will know one day. It's
and here's the thing that hardly anyone ever talks about. Maybe there's different types of creatures.
Exactly.
Maybe there's one out there or two that are just flesh and blood animals, and then maybe there are some of these things that they could come in and out. And they in the 70s they would call them paracryptids. That's an old term for some of the old people. Paracryptids.
Yeah, I heard that. Yep.
Yeah. And is it just like some kind of an energy source mimicking these creatures? I don't know. There's so many. You could just go down in the rabbit hole and you'll never come out.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so interesting. It's hard to lean one way or the other, but it's all a perception. It's all a possibility. We don't.
And we would like to say even because we are on the fence about a lot of what these things are 100%. Okay, we really are. It doesn't mean that we believe or disbelieve, but we're not going to throw away some evidence just to support one side or the other, because we don't care. We don't care what it is. Put it this way: the phenomena or phenomenons are going to be what they are, whether any of us like it or not.
Right.
Exactly. You can't not take everybody's ideas and just take one or the other and throw it away because it's all it's all potential. Mary's got something interesting here. Last week I was told about a possible flying creature that picked up a deer and ripped it apart in the air.
Oh, that's interesting. Mary, if you're listening, if it's anywhere in PA, if you have anything else, let me know. We'll investigate it.
Yeah, I don't want to run into any of those. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I'm not big on stuff with wings or things that swim in the river. aquatic cryptids are still. I don't want to deal with something that's bigger than my head.
Yeah, Greg.
I think
Flesh and blood is probably a 90 to 95% belief, and
There's definitely
special abilities. Definitely special abilities. It's insane.
Brian, let me ask you a question since I don't think anybody's asked it. But what made you want to study this stuff?
Because I'm a geeky nerd from the 70s. That's why. I mean, I really am. I'm a big. You can ask my wife. If she was here, she'd be shaking her head. I love my monsters. I love my UFOs. Huge Godzilla fan. Right? I'm a big geek, Marvel geek. That's probably why. It's just everybody else would be doing this. I'd be wanting to watch a UFO movie or something. So
Yeah, there you go.
that's why.
I'm with you.
I love this stuff. I'm hooked to it. Will we do this forever as an organization? Probably not. Probably coming to more
Uh-oh.
with how much time we got left in it. So, but yeah, and the main thing is, like I tell people, when you're out there, enjoy nature, enjoy yourself. That's what it's for.
Yeah,
Sure.
9.95, you're not going to find nothing or see nothing or hear nothing, but you are enjoying nature as it's intended to be,
Yeah, I was just curious because I like you, I was a closet nerd at the time, but as I became older, I met somebody that let me be a nerd, and I started getting into all these things, and now she shares the same interests I have with Bigfoot, UFOs, ghosts, all of those things. So I kind of want to start getting into it a little bit more and start doing some ghost hunts, doing some Bigfoot stuff, and just how to go about it, is where I'm, I don't want to go out and buy a bunch of equipment. I want to start off with, using my eyes and going that way. Is that how you got started? Just using your eyes and you writing things down?
We added a little pieces of equipment here and there, night vision, the recorders and everything. Yeah. A lot of people say they do better if they don't have any equipment at all and just go out there, and it's a visual experience, a sensory experience. You can't prove it to anybody, but it's yours. It's not mine. It's yours. It's your experience, and you can't. Like, so we were at a this was 7-8 years ago. We were at a church up in Erie, and our friend was a pastor there, and they had been having activity there, books flying off shelves, things like that. So we were there, my wife, myself, and the pastor, and we went downstairs, and there was like a little rec room. But you would go downstairs, and there was these doors that had the handlebars, the old ones.
Mm-hmm.
So we go through, and we walk right around the corner, and we're taking pictures of the old foundation. Okay, nobody else. The whole church is locked up. We hear somebody coming down the steps. The door starts shaking as if someone wants to push it through. So I heard that, and I went around the corner, open it, nothing. Ran up the steps, which went right into the church, nothing. But we all looked at each other. Steps, that door started rattling.
Wow.
And then you had to be there. The other one I'll say here, because I know we're just about running out of time, is we were investigating this house in Rochester, PA, and the people were having activity because they started to do some remodeling in the basement. So my wife was with the one lady in the ghost group, and I was with the gentleman who lived there. There was this pool, the plastic pools that you blow up and it has the ridge along the side.
Sure.
So I'm talking to the guy, and we're not right next to it. We're maybe 2 feet from it. All of a sudden, and remember, it went like, the rim went like this, made a V, as if something was pushing it down. Water started gushing out of it. That's how, the water level was here and it was up here. It went all the way down. Water started coming out maybe 5 seconds, and then it went like this. And me and the gentleman are just looking at each other. We're like, holy crap. Nothing, something pushed it down into a V, like as if there was someone there going like this. And that water started gushing, just maybe, like I said, 3-4 seconds maybe. And then it's just depressed. Back up, nothing. If
How
that's
long
not,
did you stick around that spot? That's what I want to know.
we actually, they came in, we had equipment. We're trying to get EMF readings and all that, blah, 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 but nothing. Yeah. But just to stay there and watch that. And then that, that with the steps and everything like that, just, those are, sensory perceptions. Me and the homeowner saw it, but that's it. I can't prove it to any of you, but I know we saw it. It was there,
Believe you. I don't doubt it. I'm sure it happened. Verax has got another question there for you.
I'm not, that term, the follow effect, I never heard that. If you guys can explain it to me, that would.
It's the first I've
heard of it.
Yeah.
I might have heard it under something else, but not of the paranormal itself. Oh, unless you're talking about that I've heard it called the hitchhiker effect.
I've heard of the hitchhiker.
The hitchhiker effect, yeah, which I know it became like when some of the researchers were out in Skinwalker Ranch. After some of the researchers would go home, there would be paranormal activity that followed them into their house. That's why it hitchhiked on them.
So like shadow people.
Oh, shadow. They had things. Yeah, they even one of them even had a wolf-like creature in his backyard. So yeah, the hitchhiker effect. It's kind of a term that's just come out in like the last maybe 6-7 years, or really. I shouldn't say came out. Really talked about.
Chris from Florida, they did a lot of green swamp research, and he actually had hitchhiker effect, if you will, at his home, and his sister also did from that area. Something gets attached to them.
Yeah, there's that old saying out: if you stare into the abyss long enough, the abyss will stare back at you. And I always thought that was pretty creepy.
That is.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
So you yourself, before we go, how many sightings have you yourself had?
We've had the couple paranormal, and even the one in this house, that's 3. We've seen, which I would say 3 UAP, UFO. Never any cryptid. We've heard some things, but never had any visual experience of any cryptids. And that's my goal. That's my goal, guys. If I see a Bigfoot now, I told Terry, maybe we'll stop doing it. I want to see it. I want to see it. And I'll never prove to anybody that I saw it. But for that little geek in the 70s sitting there watching all these monster movies, and so I would love to prove to that guy. I really would. Or that boy.
This young fella in 1972, who wasn't a geek, saw one whether he wanted to or not. So, fortunately, I should say fortunately, thank God it was through a window, not out in the yard.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are, whether you see it or not, they're never going to believe that you saw it. They'll never accept that fact.
Right.
And luckily, all these podcasts give people that chance to tell their experience without being afraid to tell it. The problem is getting the people who want to tell their experience.
Oh, exactly. And this is why we do it. This is why we give the talks. This is why we go to these events and things like that. We have a reporting form there. We encourage people to come out. I actually have to follow up on like 3 or 4 reports. We gave my wife and I gave a presentation about 2 or 3 weeks ago in the Monaca library, and we had like over 100 people, and there's like 3 or 4 I have to follow up on. I have to get up my ass and contact these people, but that's what makes it fun. We do the conferences and the lectures because it's part of it. Keeps your name out there. You hopefully get reports, but it'll be nice someday to relax a little bit and like I tell my wife, more slow dances in the kitchen.
Do you guys do many conferences? I'm obviously not outdoors, like in the fall and winter, out your way.
In the fall is always big. Yeah, in the winter, where nothing happens here in the winter anywhere here. Things don't start happening till late February, March. or probably even like mid-March or end of March. So
Yeah.
it's good because it gives everybody downtime. We all need that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like for me, my favorite time of the year is coming up soon, and it's Christmas. And I take all the cryptid stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to hear it, talk about it, nothing. I want to talk about Santa Claus and his reindeer, and I don't want to talk about Bigfoot. I don't. And you have to do your detach. You have to get away for a while. And Thanksgiving on is usually like, I'll get back into it in January, but it's like, okay, unfortunately sometimes, I got this report. Okay, I got to do it. But it's like, why now? We're not in January when there's nothing going on,
Unfortunately, that's the only time I could get away would be, late fall, early winter to go to any kind of a conference right now. So that would have to be an out and back for me. I can't never get away to go to any. Jeff went up to the A&F this summer, and that's something simple like that. Even Michelle, I just can't get away to do it. I want to do it, I can't do it.
Yeah, they're having a small one here next town over next Saturday. It's a 1 day only. We went last year and I didn't know anybody there, but I've got to meet a few more people at the McMinnville conference that might be there. So might hit that one. I don't know. Let me ask you quick. I don't want to get completely on the subject because we're getting near the end.
Okay.
Somebody asked earlier about Thunderbirds and little people. Have you heard anything about those or done anything study-wise with those? Or uh-oh.
Yeah, that feedback's definitely coming from his area. I'm not sure.
My wife and her friend Leah, they do a lot of research on the Fae, little people, Fae.
Okay.
And put it this way, I tell people, if they laugh about that, I think because those things might be interdimensional beings. But if you can't find an 8-foot ape in the woods, how are you gonna find something like it's
Exactly.
about that? You're not, when you're walking, you're looking straight or up, or you're not really looking down. One of these little things just goes like this right along the side of the tree or something. Like, you're never gonna see it.
Well, you might have seen one flying by, thinking it was a dragonfly, or
or don't know. Yeah, my wife has seen one down in Beaver Creek. Our friend Leah, she's seen multiple ones. She's a psychic. She's the one that had the near-death experience, so she can perceive probably better than someone like me can. But it's anybody who laughs at the Fae and the little people, it's like, that's what I tell them. I'm like, okay, so
I had the chicken scared out of me last week. I thought I had a little man sighting last week over at the state park. It was Jeffrey coming out of his campsite, coming over to my campsite. Sorry, Jeff.
I felt very small compared to you and Mark Green. I was the smallest guy at the campsite,
Yeah, I have to share that picture. Jeff is standing between me and Mark. You got two guys up here, and down here's Jeff.
Yeah, I'm in the middle, and it looks like I got two, Jolly Green Giants on either side of me.
Aren't the Faes Irish folklore?
The Fae?
Yeah. Is that from Irish folklore?
Well, the Fae is just like, I guess it's a general term for anything from leprechauns to trolls to little people.
Okay.
To puckwudgies, kind of like that, and
okay.
It's just like a generic term for the race of beings is the Fae. Yeah, it's something that it's not my realm. It's kind of like my wife's realm, so she could definitely talk more about that than I can, so, for sure.
Cool.
That's right, Hillary. We're not looking for crab legs.
No crab legs.
The pterodactyl. I think. What didn't Blaylock, Jeff, say something about a pterodactyl?
He's saw one, and River's seen one.
Yeah, what they look like, just real quick, I know we're just about done. They either look like something from the pterosaur family, pterodactyl, some of the other ones, or a pterotorn, which is a big black a prehistoric eagle. Those are the two type that are seen up here in Pennsylvania in the Chestnut Ridge. And the people, I have a drawing that it looks like a pterodactyl, pterosaur, whatever exactly you want to call it. It's got the long beak, with the tail, the big wings. It looks like, again, so people say, oh, now you're telling me there's dinosaurs. I'm like, could it be some kind of a time slip type thing? And boom, boom. And then they don't see them for long, guys. They see these things, boom, boom, and gone. Again, take that as what you will.
Well, I still will say that there are creatures that we don't know of that we find every day. We lose creatures every day as well, as far as extinct. But we also know that so much of the earth and so much of the ocean are unexplored, and we have no idea what's there because we can't get to the region. So, let's say there isn't something in a cave somewhere in a woods that's not really been explored. So,
and other countries have them too, like Papua New Guinea has the night flyer, the ropin night flyer. Yahoo, there's all kinds of winged cryptids throughout the whole world, not just here. So yeah, what are they?
right.
Exactly. How they stay hidden so well, so long. He's awake. He's monkeying with his telephone.
I've always got people mess. It's just
It's all good.
I'm too important now. Everybody wants to talk to me. I can't.
Oh my! Here we go.
No, Jeff, they're
Here
trying
we
to
go,
keep you
Jeff.
awake, brother.
Here we
I'm
go.
trying to monitor the chat because I can't type on this computer fast enough.
But yeah, I do want to thank you guys for before we go. It was fun talking about this kind of stuff. I hope the audience enjoyed it. It's
Sure
been
they
our
did.
life, really been our life. It's been my passion. Our passion.
Brian, I'd love to have you back.
Sure. I come back.
There's more stuff that I'd love to talk about with you.
Oh yeah, and
I guarantee we didn't even touch the core of it yet. I'm sure.
yeah, I love talking about the off cryptids too. The one sightings, the one off. The what do you call it? The Flatwoods monster or things. The Grafton monster. One sighting or couple days, boom, they're gone.
Yeah.
And it's just so many different things out there. If I come back on, remind me I want to show you, which I believe is kind of like the Bible of cryptozoology, two volumes of it. And I kind of forget the exact name, but there's 2 volumes. Very expensive. It was expensive. My wife bought it for my birthday one time, and it lists the name of every cryptid ever. I mean, in every continent. It's just fantastic.
That's awesome. That'd be nice. That'd be good reading there. Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely. I actually put it out. I was reading it a couple days ago. You got to refresh yourself. I'm getting old. I got to refresh this brain here.
Oh boy, DA, that's funny. Ooh. I'll save that one for off air for Jeffrey. Wow, the milk munchkin.
Cool.
That's hilarious.
All right.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that, DA. Thank you. All right, Brian. We really appreciate you coming on, man. That's
Absolutely.
I had fun. Thank you for asking me. We like to get the word of our group out. I know we've been doing it a lot, but we're still not we're not one of the well-known ones for sure. But we kind of keep to ourselves. We help a lot of people and do some things, but we're still low key. We enjoy what we're doing, having a blast. I think.
You've gave a lot of interviews over the years, and a lot of the shows I watch on YouTube. It never fails. Anything Western Pennsylvania or that area, Ohio or something. This guy right here has been interviewed. I can guarantee it. Quite a few times. So.
Well, I'm glad you guys like it. I try to, no nonsense. I'm going to tell you what I believe or don't believe. I'm not out to hurt anyone's feelings. I base it on our groups, all of us together, our experiences and what we read. And is it always right? No. I'm not going to sit here and lie. But we do try to do our best, guys. We really try to do our best.
That's all you can do. That's all you can do.
All theories. You don't know for sure. Again, you don't diss any feedback. You got to take it all and listen to it all because that person could be right.
Exactly. I love hearing other people's opinion. I do. I'm opposite of what some people are, but if you tell me this, I'm like, why didn't I think of that? I mean, it's right in front of me, and I didn't think of that. So
it's always something to learn every day.
Exactly, and I appreciate it. I always say, I didn't really go to college. My college is every day of my life, basically. I mean,
That's that's well said, because I was going to ask you if you went to college for anything in particular.
Yeah.
I'm not a college guy either, but I always tell everybody that I'm one of those people that's common sense smart, but I have so much useless knowledge in my head.
Oh yeah,
It helps me get through life.
yeah.
Silly trivia, silly facts, things but it seems to do well for me. So
We were talking at work, and about football. I'm a big Steeler fan. It's like, yeah, you remember in 1995 when we did this, we did that. The Steelers did this, and it's like I can't remember where I put my shoes.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
That's a good point, Craig. Yep, boogers act different in different areas. Yep. No
I think they're just like people.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're having a bad day, right? Animals have bad
right.
days too, so you have to watch.
Yep. Steelers, no Seahawks.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into football fights now. Here we go.
You guys got lucky. You guys got lucky the second week of the season.
We won't discuss Baltimore.
Or Cincinnati.
What a joke Baltimore is this year. Every year. But anyway. All right. Well, we won't keep rambling on right an hour and a half. So
Okay.
I've got Mark Green on standby. He's going to let me know. We're going to get him on in next week or two, Jeff, whenever he's available, and converse about the trip they had up here and back down in Virginia with Spencer, et cetera, et cetera. So looking forward to hearing about that and some other stuff. So.
And next week we have
for your time.
We got the Paranormal Appalachian Research Team.
Yes. That's coming up the 21st.
That's next week, I believe.
Okay. Yep.
And we'll have a show Sunday at 5. I don't know what it's going to be about yet. It'll be something interesting. So, Oddcast podcast off the record, people. Don't forget it.
Yeah, and we are going to be doing a ghost show. I brought that up this past week over at the campground. And we're going to get the ladies together because they're big ghost lovers. And my wife has a couple stories from Gettysburg to tell when she took her niece out there.
Nice.
Actually had some activity out there at one of the inns that they stayed in. And I know Eric is interested, and some others are going to come on too. So that's going to probably be a Beards and Boogers deal. We're just going to turn the beardless and boogerless women loose and let them have at it. So it probably won't be a Tuesday night deal when we do that. We'll, however it all works out for everybody's schedule. Rebecca Green's going to come on too with that. So that's going to be pretty cool. Here's some good stuff. So. Sounds like maybe we need to include Brian in that. He could be the beard of the Beards and Boogers of that show.
Yeah, I do got a shave, guy. Normally, I don't let it get this bad.
Oh, Lord. Look below me. Look at the guy below me.
Yeah, I went from having the longest, biggest beard to nothing.
Yeah. Okay, everybody, we'll be back next week. Sounds like we got a great set of guests lined up from basically out the West Virginia area. And
Western Maryland, PA.
They'll be coming in. So. Sounds like a good time. Appreciate everybody in chat. We love y'all, and we'll see you next week. You guys stick around. We'll go backstage here in just a minute. Everybody else, we'll see you next week.
See you, everybody.